Good evening, folks, and welcome to Mese della Spazzatura Italiano, the Italian Garbage month. This is Garbage Theater. I'm your host Chase with my co-host Blake and Ajana.
Heyo.
God, just don't get into it at all, guys.
I'm too consumed thinking, like, do you have that Italian little phrase written in front of you so you say it correctly, or did you actually learn that phrase to get it right?
I've got spazzatura written down because I keep forgetting that word. The rest of it I got. But Italian for garbage I can't seem to hang on to.
Right.
Anyway, we watched Shocking Dark, and it wasn't so much shocking as it was shameless.
You know,
Yeah.
There's a certain point in this movie where I just sat there and said, what am I doing?
So just not even trying to hide how much of a ripoff this was of Aliens.
Not at all.
No, I mean, they were taking scenes, just lifting scenes straight out of it and doing them much worse.
It's like contamination, a ripoff of Alien. I'll show you how to rip off of Aliens.
Yeah, exactly.
The Great Italian Rip-Off Wars.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah. And of course, John loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
It was charming.
Pretty close to being like an all-time classic bad movie. I think like it really dragged at a certain point.
Every 10 minutes.
Towards the end, I started to get kind of bored. But man, just like the dialogue and the names of stuff and the line deliveries were. I mean, that was great stuff.
Yeah. There was a point where, like, I gave up on just trying to write down and remember the names of things because I was like, who cares?
Oh, there's a distinct line where I quit giving a shit throughout this movie.
And
there was a point where I started going, okay, 10 seconds ahead, 10 seconds ahead, 10 seconds ahead, 10 seconds ahead.
Yeah.
I can't.
Well, anytime they'd start walking, I'd start hitting 10 seconds.
Yep.
I don't know. Like this was one of those times, and it's happened to me before, where, like I said, what am I doing here? And then I started thinking, like, you know, this is the definition of insanity. I'm watching these movies over and over and over again, and expecting somehow to, I don't know, make a successful podcast.
Profit?
You know, it's a low moment.
It's honest work.
It ain't much.
Yeah.
But
It ain't much as damn right. But
yeah.
All right, let's dive on in. Shocking Dark. We open to Venice, pre-2000. Pigeons abundant.
Who would let pigeons get in their hair like that?
They're like picking up armfuls of pigeons and rubbing them on their faces.
Just like rolling around with them.
It's like they're dogs or something.
They deserve everything that happened to them in this movie, just because of the way they treat the pigeons.
Sky rats.
Yeah.
But Venice is threatened by the high tide. Seaweed is stripping the water of oxygen, and the water is destroying the foundations of the city itself. This is Venice today, but what will happen tomorrow? Smash cut. Venice off limits.
And right away, that's, you know, it wasn't pissed off enough to have a rant, but that sign should have been in Italian.
There's several weird inconsistencies like this.
Like, everything that's labeled inside the facility is Italian.
Except for the sign saying not go into Venice.
Yeah.
Primarily the people reading that sign would be Italian, but
yeah, that's the sign that the audience had to read. So
I was really hoping that it would say "No molest Venice," but it didn't.
And they just found a candy cane striped piece of plywood and painted those letters right on it. Impossible to read.
Oh God, it was. Like who
luckily they
that?
only had to make one.
Yeah,
this is true. But who signed off on the one?
Yeah. So, futuristic stormtroopers. Well, it's a light futuristic. Stormtroopers guard the city.
There were more drizzle troopers.
More overcast troopers.
Yeah.
They're guarding the city as it's now become overcome with a toxic cloud that's killing off all life within, and the government has ordered an evacuation of the surviving population, and Venice is now dead city. Dun dun dun. In a control room, 3 troopers look at a camera feed where 3 workers run down a hallway in terror. One looks directly into the camera and screams, "Help! They're coming!" while doing a very natural double take looking behind him. They're coming! Oh no! I'm screaming! Ah!
This whole thing looked like when people are trying to act scared on Saturday Night Live.
It's accurate. So,
yeah, it's hard to. The charm of the movie for me is really in the acting. The line deliveries are spectacular. So it's going to be hard to get across how fun parts of this were.
The junior high play quality acting.
Yeah. Yes.
It was once again one of those times where somebody stuttered on a line. And they said, it's fine. Let it go.
Nope. They could only turn the camera on once. They shot the whole thing one take and then chopped it up in post. So the camera feed cuts out because the transmission is disturbed, apparently. We cut to one of the workers trying to get in contact with the control tower, and you can't keep this guy from breaking the fourth wall. He darts his head around some more and takes off running down the corridors of the Nostromo. The other 2 workers run in a different direction and stop when they hear something. They slowly round a corner and see a big pile of glop that is one of the monsters of the movie. Indescribable. Back with Marlon Brando here. He gives up trying to contact the control tower when he's startled by Drake, another worker. And Drake seems a little bit off and suddenly attacks the guy and strangles him. Cut back to the headquarters where some of the troopers are in a conference room watching a video of a man named Dr. Ralphison telling them that the crew is condemned to a hideous death. And he tells them that Drake is suffering from schizoid dissociation, and he's been talking about strange creatures. And then the tape cuts off. And the troopers are explaining to this woman, Dr. Sarah, that it's going to be her responsibility to find out what happened and to bring back any survivors. And a man in the back of the room tells her that you're there to look for the doctor's notebook, which is the most important thing to them. And she asks who he is, and he says he's Samuel Fuller of the Tubular Corporation.
A division of Totally Heinous International.
He says that he's coming along on the mission. And Trooper Bond...
Tubular Corporation.
Captain Bond doesn't want Fuller going along with the mission, as this is a place for highly trained scientists and whatnot. And Fuller says he's spent 11 years in the Marines, and the colonel vouches for him because he's a martial arts expert. He never shows that off.
Not once.
So he says that the Tubular Company... Yeah, that's going to happen a lot. has sunk millions of dollars into the aqueduct system beneath Venice, to which Dr. Sarah tells him that all the company's millions only made the waters worse. And the colonel tells him that in T-minus 15 minutes, we're starting Operation Delta Venice. Assemble the Megaforce.
See, stupid me thought they were saying Omega Force at first. So, like, I didn't catch how stupid it was. And it wasn't until, like,
stupid.
It wasn't until, like, 10 minutes later, I was like, hold on. This is the fucking Mega Force?
Yep.
Jesus.
It's just like big-ass motherfuckers.
Yeah.
It's an NES game from '88.
Megaforce. Assemble the Megaforce.
I mean, Omega Force isn't that much better, but it's acceptable for, like, the 80s. But then once I found out what it was, I was pretty peeved about it.
Yeah. Roll out the Trunculon Corps.
Yeah.
So roll the most budget-ass Aliens Marine introduction ripoff scene I've ever goddamn seen.
This scene is incredible. Everything that happens is insane.
Well, we cut to the locker room of this junior high where they shot this fucking movie. And our Sergeant Apone, who's this no-nonsense badass woman, you know she's a badass because she's wearing a dirty rope as a headband. And she goes
and she
around...
screams a lot.
Yeah, she goes around giving the various cliched archetypes the business, and there's the wisecracking guy, and the martial arts guy, and the blonde bimbo guy.
Dude,
I was calling him Malibu for, like, in all my notes. He's Malibu.
I referred to him as Malibu several times.
Okay, good.
The very first thing, like, pans down to her, and she looks, like, directly at the camera, and she says, "All right, you bunch of pussies. I'm back, and I'm kicking ass." So,
Where's she
where
back
were
from?
you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you
Maybe
supposed
she
to
was
know
doing
fighting?
That's how she returns from the bathroom, like, every time.
Yeah.
All right, you pussies.
And then it just pans over to a man doing nunchuck stuff. I was dying.
It's ridiculous.
Nobody cared. Like, nobody looked at her because they're so used to it. Like, every time she goes and takes a greasy shit, she comes back with this bullshit again.
All right, you pussies. Like, Jesus.
Maybe if I mess around with these nunchucks, she won't talk to me.
She's gonna give everybody shit, no matter how innocuous her activity is.
Yeah.
The guy's, like, tying his shoelaces, and she, like, slaps him on the ass.
And then there's the Italian guy. So let's start the racial slurs flying.
Oh, God. Here it goes.
Just in time
went
for
in hard
Italian
on
month.
this dude.
Oh. What with your Dago mustache and your greasy hair? So this is all...
See, like, I don't know which character she's supposed to be, though, because, so in Aliens, it was Hudson giving Vasquez the business, doing the racism on her, and then, but in this, it's the black lady doing the racism on the Italian guy.
Yeah.
Well, they couldn't go shot for shot, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
But, like,
and
does this
she's
writer
not really
have some kind of...
She's not really Apone because she's not in charge.
No.
But,
I thought she was supposed to be Vasquez, but
yeah.
The more I thought about it, the more I think she's Hudson.
Yeah, and the guy who's like in charge, the Apone of the group, isn't very Apone-ish. He's more like, what's his name, the lieutenant that comes along that's never done anything before.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like fucking a Robo War. They're morphing, like the spirit of the characters keeps hopping from character to character, like Mac.
It's true. But, like, the poor, I don't understand. So the writer must have some kind of persecution complex to write, like, a black woman doing racism to an Italian guy in Italy.
Yeah. On an Italian production.
On an Italian production.
I don't know. This needed to happen, I guess.
Whatever.
So this is all broken up by the arrival of Dr. Sarah and Mr. Fuller of, what's that? The Tubular Corporation! I've got a bunch of those. So they're led to the entrance of the aqueducts, and they're told that they're on their own from here on out. So the squad of big-ass motherfuckers heads out.
Oh, I forgot to mention, they made a big deal about the guy's gun. Or she made a big deal about she's like, is this some kind of super gun? Or I can't remember her exact words. But she was impressed by
the new shit.
Yeah, it's a 12 gauge.
They all just have shotguns.
Yeah, it's all 12 gauges. But they were acting like it's some kind of future tech. It's not. I mean, shotguns have been around for quite a while.
They put that, like, fold-down shoulder brace on it to make it look
a little foldable stock
special.
on it. You know, a.k.a. the clever girl stock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They never once fold it down.
No. Oh, look, I got so many problems with the fucking gun, but I'm not going to bore everybody with it. Like, the way they hold their guns, there's zero trigger discipline with all these crack Marines. They point guns at each other constantly, like, as they're walking in formation. Just point it at the back of their friend's head. No problem. It's ludicrous. But I digress.
Yeah. So, yeah, they issue orders, and which just kind of makes them all shuffle around. They don't really do anything. We cut back to a very important scene in the control tower, and it's over.
Yeah.
I love how nobody seems to give a fuck in the control tower. They're just sort of wandering around. Maybe they'll press a button.
The only thing I noticed in that quick little cut was, why is that chick wearing those white tennis shoes when everybody else is wearing boots?
Comfort.
Ran out of boots. I don't know.
Just on her feet all day.
They definitely didn't run out of shotguns.
Yeah.
So many shotguns in this movie.
Yeah. So back with the squad, they come under fire from a mystery person. They send 2 soldiers to flank around to get the drop on him, and it's Drake. And they disarm him, and they hold him against the wall.
You skipped the line where they conspire to rape him to death or something.
I didn't catch that.
One of them goes like, let's get out the KY so we can shaft him real good.
I didn't hear that.
That's a real line.
I was already checked out.
This is like 17 minutes in. I was still reeling that they called him a sniper.
Yes.
I was like, why? Why are you calling him a sniper? And then when they show him, like, his gun doesn't even have a sight on it.
He's just blasting randomly.
Yeah.
So they get him up against the wall, and Blake tells him that if you go into the city, you're all gonna die, because they know that you're coming for them. And then Drake lets out a invasion of the body snatchers shriek that makes everybody double over in pain. And then go ahead, Blake, you explain.
Yeah, that was the only part that made me laugh in the whole movie. Was as he's yelling, it's cutting to all the different team members holding their heads in pain, and while they're showing like one guy holding his ears, and the guy Drake just kind of slides back in the frame, still screaming, and it just made me laugh.
He just photobombs the shot. I'm still screaming. So he grabs one of the troopers and shuffles away with him. This screaming power isn't explained, and it never comes back.
No.
I thought maybe, okay, spoiler alert, a little later they find out that what's making the creatures is like spores in the air that get inside of you and they mutate you. So I thought maybe that was going to happen to a character or two here or there. Nah, never happens.
Fuck you.
So,
I mean, aren't things better left to the imagination anyway?
yeah. So, they
Don't
split
show,
up.
don't tell. That's movies.
Yeah, exactly.
They split up and try to find Drake and their missing teammate. Is her name? Her name's Coster. The loud
Beats
lady.
the shit out of me.
I think it's
I think so.
Coster and Malibu get a reading on their tracker, and they follow it onto the set of Aliens, and they find
Did y'all
bodies.
see what that tracker was?
No, I didn't know what it was.
It's a Game Boy with bedazzling on it.
Wouldn't be surprised. So they get a beat on their Game Boy on Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
And follow it onto the set of Aliens. Like I said, there's cocoon bodies up against the walls, and their teammate Price is cocooned up, and he begs them to kill him. And then he starts screaming in pain, and a monster hand comes out of the webbing, and it grabs old what's-her-face. And Frazzini, the Italian guy, and his friends run to the rescue when Malibu shoots the monster hand off. And Frazzini gets grabbed by some creatures, and he's pulled into the darkness. But they blast the thing, and he gets loose, and they all run to meet the other. So many times, one of them like gets grabbed and drug off, and you think they're gonna die, and they all get away fine. It happens
Also,
over and over in the movie.
Also, I kept during the whole thing, I kept saying like, "Oh, this seems really familiar."
Yeah, you think?
like I've kind of seen this before, but not necessarily exactly this. But it's familiar.
Yeah. It's a little more spicy.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Sarah gets a reading on her tape recorder that there's movement coming towards them. A lot of movement. I think she's making all this up.
She is, because how can you discern any of that from one red blinking LED?
It's all
And
in
she's
Morse
getting
code.
Distance and how many bogeys and all that. I'm like, you are lying, lady.
So they decide to lock down the area they're in, and Franzini and Malibu try to seal the door while Sarah tells everyone that the creatures are nearly there. Oh, never mind, they are here. Jesus, it's like a bunch of children made this movie. The Megaforce starts to wonder how they can get out of this chicken shit outfit. The commander tells them that the next one to disobey orders gets a bullet between the eyes, and they move out. They check in with the control tower and are told to proceed as planned. They finally arrive inside the city limits, I guess, and pick up a life form reading. They zero in on the source of the signal, and it's just a little girl, and they're not even trying to hide it at this point, folks.
Once again, this seems familiar.
Huh.
God,
If they would have called this girl Salamander, I would have lost my shit.
So they all split up and try to catch her. She's running from them. They're running around the tunnels.
No, they're running down the same hallway. They're running down the same hallway over and over and over again, chasing this girl.
Yeah.
And it's a distinct hallway because they keep having to jump over this pipe every single time. Find another hallway.
They split up and try to catch her. She's darting around the tunnels. They corner her. One of them tries to grab her. She bites them, checking off the boxes. But they finally corner her, and Dr. Sarah calms her down, and they take her with them. She says her name's Samantha. Does you say her name's Samantha here or later? I don't know. Her name's Samantha. Who the fuck cares?
I don't know. I immediately didn't like her screams.
Oh, I hated this girl.
So I was just rooting for her to die. Right from the
I'm fairly
beginning.
certain she was 20 years old. B, yes, her voice was off, and like it was like they said, okay, well, all we got is this 20-year-old. Well, put a pink dress on her and put her hair in pigtails with pink ribbons. That's what a little girl looks like, right? Yeah, no one's gonna know that she's 6 feet tall.
Yeah. She just had that obnoxious scream.
Yes, it was.
And the amount of times in the script that it called for her to say, "I'm scared, Sarah," I just wanted her to die.
There was a lot of screaming in this movie in general.
Yeah. So they take the girl and they go and set up base in the super scientific playroom. There's all kinds of mutated specimens behind glass. They're speculating as to what's really going on here. And Coster and Malibu start going on patrol, and they share this little moment where she gives him a postcard of Venice before it went to hell for some reason.
Here's a picture of Venice to jerk off to, I guess. Like,
oh, you can keep that.
Weird.
I got a bunch of them.
Yeah.
I got a whole pile of them.
Because she gives it to him, he looks at it, he's like, fucking A.
So weird.
Man, look at the tits on Venice.
Oh shit! I didn't know Venice had it like that.
So, like, if somebody were to, like, show us a drawing of, I don't know, a city that isn't there anymore, Mesopotamia or something, I don't know, would we lose our minds, or would we be like, oh, yeah, that's pretty cool?
Can I have this?
It's like, yeah, I got a ton of them. What? Why?
So, back in the science room, they may as well have just cut and pasted the scene from Aliens, where Bishop's examining the facehugger. It's the exact same friggin' scene, just worded slightly differently.
Yeah. But they also gave away the game a little bit by, like, giving this particular character Bishop's job, you know,
Yes,
in the
exactly.
scene.
Yeah.
And that's all the thought that went into the, like, how are we going to one-up Aliens? Well, okay, one of the characters turns out, you know, he's a robot. You find that out really early in the fucking movie anyway. But in the first Aliens, you find out a dude's a robot. So what if he wasn't just a robot? What if he was the Terminator? And that's just...
That's it. That's really it. It's like, okay, we'll do Aliens, but what if...
What if just
Bishop,
being like,
but Terminator?
yeah, instead of being a fucking protocol droid, he's the goddamn Terminator.
Well, you got to remember, this was the middle of the rip-off wars. And, you know, there was a race going on.
Yeah,
And
these were some bloody battles here.
It fell in their lap to do 2 rip-offs at one time. They had to take it.
They had to smash one in the final 5 minutes of the movie, though.
Yeah. I mean, look, desperate times, you know?
Yeah, it was, they call it Matei's Gambit. In the history books.
I was just upset that he didn't talk like the Robo-War machine.
Oh, like Popeye?
Yeah. Like, once it was revealed, why didn't he go,
Anyway, Coster and Malibu search the bowels of the junior high school boiler room, and they get separated. And a tentacle comes dangling down behind Coster and wraps around her neck. And no, this isn't Malibu. This is Kowalski. This is a different character.
Yeah.
Malibu's back in the scientific playroom. Kowalski runs up to her, and the alien bitch slaps him so hard he turns into a crash test dummy and falls from the rafters.
That was great.
Okay, every time they threw a dummy off a roof or something, it was fantastic.
That's a win, for sure.
So, the creature, which we finally get to see, and it looks an awful lot like Man-Thing, murders Coster. Back in the science room, Fuller boots up the Tubular Corporations. Computer. And he claims that the ingenious WAP bastards did it.
They finally made a diet soda with the same great taste as the original.
It says that they figured out how to code DNA by computer, and it's an enzyme that latches onto a host and recodes its DNA to become a new life form. and they speculate that they could all be breathing in it right now. And Malibu's very concerned. Like, I'm not going to turn into something weird, am I? So...
It's so good, dude.
So Samantha, the little girl, approaches and she says that her daddy says that it's all the Tubular Corporations' fault. And she boots up the computer with the password danger, and it says that they're all at danger level 7. Good to know. That's all they got out of that.
Well, okay, so the screen that she typed in the password, that's as far as the robot got before.
The robot?
Yeah. But he gleaned all that other
pronunciation on robot.
He gleaned all that information, but all he saw was the little title screen.
Yeah.
Just a Tubular Corporation danger.
Yeah.
So the lights cut out, and it's another unashamedly beat for beat ripoff of Aliens. Lights out. They cut the lights. What do you mean they cut the lights? Bleh. The movie moves. The team moves out, searching the tunnels, trying to get into the facility. They wonder what happened to Kowalski and Coster.
Wait, hold on. There's a line of dialogue there where Fuller. What is it? Fuller? Is that
Fuller? Yeah,
Fuller,
the Terminator.
He didn't want to go the same way they were going, and so the head guy, forget his name, he's like, "You're going, or I'm gonna blow your head off."
Oh, yeah, I was getting to that.
And he says, "Do I have a choice?"
Yeah.
And then he tells him, "No, no." You gave him a choice.
Yeah, go or the head blowing thing.
Right. You can't take that back now.
So they're wondering what happened to Kowalski and Coster, but don't worry, that Coster's one tough cookie. She's not going to let anybody mess with her. Smash cut to her mushed up against the window in a spider web.
Pan to her having been completely messed with. Oh man, this was one of the funniest parts of the movie to me. That pan killed me.
So, Malibu and some other asshole pick up readings all around them. Captain Who Gives a Shit tells them to come back immediately. So they fall back to the rest of the group as Fettuccine alerts them on his Mattel handheld football game that the readings are getting closer. They fall back, and he keeps saying they're closer and closer and closer, and it's like, gasp, it's like they're already in the room. Except for them not being in the ceiling, they're just kind of there and no one saw.
Yeah.
They also changed, for some reason, they changed the measurement from meters to yards.
Yeah.
So it's meters in Aliens and it's yards in this. And, like, you can tell the Italian guy's having trouble with yards, because, like, he doesn't use yards.
Right.
It's a 10 yards. It's a 20 yards. It's
what the fuck is a
2
yard?
yards. So they open fire and start blowing up the monster heads as Sarah and the little girl try to escape. But the door won't open, so Fuller yells for them to, I don't know, maybe try pushing the other button of the 2 buttons.
I couldn't believe that everyone's getting, like, annihilated. They're just over there pressing the wrong button.
So one of the monsters appears and it slaps Fuller's gun from his hands and slices his arm. They finally get the door open and all retreat through. And the little girl says, I know a way out of here. So they let the little girl take point. Why wouldn't you?
Malibu got too.
Yeah.
Got grabbed and thrown over another railing.
Oh yeah.
With another dummy.
Also, there was a couple of times in here where people were shooting those sawed-off 12 gauges one-handed, and there was zero recoil whatsoever.
Because it's basically a big Roman candle.
Yeah, so I was just, then I was wondering, are they all robots?
It might be. So they let her take point. And why wouldn't you? They contact the control room and tell them that they're entering the plant section of the facility. And the commander wants to send in reinforcements, but Captain Bond says, no, don't send anybody else.
Why not? People are dying.
I'm sure when they were up on LV-426 getting fucked, the last thing they wanted was more Marines to show up.
You saw what happened when they sent more Marines in Alien Predator.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody saw
Everyone
that movie.
died.
So they find their way deeper into the facility when Fuller tells them that this is the part where he says there's no reason to go in here. It's been abandoned for years. There's nothing in there. No answers, no plot devices, nothing. And this is where he says, he gives them the choice, blow his head off. I don't have a choice. Yeah, you do. Blow your head off. So Sarah tries to help Fuller with his arm wound, but he runs her off, and he says, I've been taking care of myself forever. Get the fuck out of here. And the camera zooms in, revealing that his cut arm is full of robot stuff.
That was bad, too.
It's just pieces of, like a motherboard, just mushed together.
There'd be no reason for that to be there.
That equals robot in the arm.
There should be like actuators and stuff there, not capacitors.
Yeah, dumbass movie.
But also, like, he's wearing a shirt where the sleeves are rolled up.
Exactly, that's my next point.
Yeah, the whole rest of the movie, he's walking around
just covering his robot part on his arm instead of rolling his sleeves down.
So they all get on the elevator and ride it up. They get off, and Fonzarelli tells the captain that he should rest because he's losing a lot of blood. And Sarah and the little girl take a sidebar to rip off another scene from Aliens. So that's when they have the little back and forth. Oh, my mama used to say there's no such thing as a monsters, but oh, mama mia, there should be a monsters here. So that's going on. They fall asleep. Meanwhile, Beefaroni is helping patch up Bond, and Sarah and the girl wake up from their nap, and oh no, they're in trouble. There's a monster in the gigantic room they're in with them.
Oh my god! Like throughout the movie, it's literally like they're not able to see things that aren't on the screen with them.
Well, that's how vision works, right?
It's not on camera. It's not actually there.
Yeah. Like my son. He truly believes he's invisible when he closes his eyes. Same thing.
So they wave and flail in front of the security camera, but no one answers because the soldiers have passed out and only Fuller's watching, and he don't give no shits. He's a robot.
He's the one what done it.
Did he though?
Probably.
He had to have something
Aliens,
to do with it, right?
Because he didn't put an alien in there, a monster in there. It was just in there.
How you know?
No, he did.
They're 6 feet tall.
You talking about Paul? Well, he put the face hugger in there.
In Aliens, there was no face hugger in this movie. It was a 6 foot tall slot monster.
What
Yeah,
movie
but
about?
this man's a Terminator. He could put a monster in there.
Paul Reiser let the face huggers out in Aliens. That happened. This asshole he just lucked out because this basement is lousy with glop monsters.
I guess.
So they pull a fire alarm, alerting the soldiers. They come in and save them, and the whole scene is very pointless and only there to cast more shame on the creators of this travesty. They make it to the control room where everything is on and running for an abandoned facility. Sarah screams at Fuller that she knows that this is where it all started, and Fuller tells her that the only thing that started here was a plan to save the Venice Lagoon. And Sarah says that everyone knows that this corporation is just a cover-up for warmongering arms dealers like Wayland Yutani. I mean, Levine and Benson. They pull up a video of some wide-shouldered woman laying out the plan, and basically they decide...
Wait. What was the name of the planet in Aliens?
LV-426.
LV-426.
Okay, because if it had been LB,
yeah,
then Levine and Benson would have been, like a real dig there. But never mind.
No, they just needed two names because they're stupid.
Yeah, I thought they would have dug deep though.
They don't really ever do anything like clever or fun with the fact that they're just ripping stuff off.
No,
they just make it more generic and boring.
Right.
That's the whole deal.
So they pull up this video, and this woman on the video explains the plot, and they say that they decided to poison the city's water supply, creating a dead city so that they can sell off the city's historical landmarks and museums and thingies.
This shit makes no fucking sense.
And this really pissed me off because she said it took 750 solar days. You're still on Earth, bitch.
Venice doesn't follow Earth time.
Apparently not.
It's the same reason why you can't drive a motorcycle to it.
There's no roads in Venice.
So they all turn on Fuller, and Lobster Ravioli wants to blow him away right now. But Bond stops him and questions why hasn't the company gone bankrupt from this failed effort. And Fuller says this is just one of the many operations that are in play. And we've got the best scientists and the best weapons. They have no idea.
He gets real defensive for a robot, too. Like, he's really towing the company line.
Yeah. So,
they're not losing money. Asshole.
So Samantha outs him as a robot and slaps his hand away from his wound, and they all see the bits. Vegetable Lasagna yells out, "You're a replicant!" and gets slapped across his gabagool. Bond shoots Fuller a few times, but he's unfazed because he's a robot.
And even his clothes are machines. Because he gets shot and like the squib goes, and so his shirt's torn, but the shirt has machine parts in it.
Well, his robot skin covering stops at the neckline.
Ah, got it.
So, growing that skin's expensive. You know how much money we're in on this goddamn Venice poisoning museum heist job? So Fuller tells him that he's immortal and a perfect being. So Fuller grabs Bond's shotgun and punches him, knocks him down. Chicken Parmesan grabs his gun and fires it, but it does nothing. Fuller walks over. He levels Bond's gun at Create a Sampler Italiano and shoots him right in the stuffed manicotti. Sarah asks why Fuller didn't just kill them earlier, to which he responds that he wanted to wait for the right time, which is now. Why? I don't know.
Nobody knows. Not even the writer knew.
So, yeah. Why didn't you kill us earlier? He's like, that's a damn good question. Why did I just write that into this movie? So he pushes a button that sets a 30-minute timer till the facility blows up, because this is basically just one giant fusion reactor. Adios, muchachos.
I was depressed too, because when it said 30 minutes still self-destruct or whatever, I looked at how much time I had left in the movie, and it was 26 minutes. I was like, fuck, they're doing a real-time situation here.
Sort of, because
yeah, sort of.
In about 4 minutes, there's only 15 minutes left.
Yeah, I was real depressed.
And then that last 5 minutes is like Namekian 5 minutes, because it takes like 17 episodes of Dragon Ball Z to pass those 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then when the time's up, nothing happens.
So Sarah and the girl run for their lives as Fuller kicks Bond in the face and knocks him out. Sarah finds a shotgun in a locker just randomly. She knows it's there.
It's the same shotgun from the Drizzle Troopers, but somehow the Tubular Corporation has the same shotgun. Yeah. I thought this was all future tech that nobody had their hands on.
The collapsible stock 12 gauge, the official shotgun of Venice.
And then let me just go into a small gun rant. She grabs a handful of shells. She loads 2 of them into the thing. This thing would have had the plug taken out where you could probably put 5 shells in the tube. But she only... I mean, they're not hunting ducks with these shotguns. They're obviously there for tactical situations. They can hold more shells.
Well, at least she didn't rip a bunch of bullshit out of the wall to make it.
Yeah, you're right. This is true.
Punch a hole in the drywall. Oh, everybody knows that drywall is supported by shotgun shells.
Yeah.
So she gives Samantha a tracker so that she can find her if they get separated. They run away from Fuller. Bond comes to, and he starts crawling towards the command console as the control tower calls in, and the colonel musters a new squad, and he's going to personally lead to head in for the rescue mission. Fuller corners Sarah and Samantha, but Sarah shoots the wires above his head, which electrocutes him, and Samantha, while he's getting electrocuted and falling down the stairs, Samantha just kind of falls off a frame.
Yeah.
And down a hole / slide.
It's a slide.
Yeah, it's a weird place for a slide inside this corporation.
Yeah. But then the woman's like, stay there, I'll come find you, and goes the other way. Go down the slide, stupid.
One, it's probably fun. 2, You're going to the same place.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Sarah yells down at Samantha to stay where she is and she'll come and find her. Lots of running through corridors happens. This is where you start skipping through this movie.
Yeah.
And finally Sarah finds Samantha down a big hole or something. But there's aliens, sewer monsters. And oops, here comes the T-1000 too. Fuller grabs Sarah by the throat and he tells her that this place is going to blow any minute. And Fuller's done a full Judge Doom here because he talked just like this.
I wish you would have said that because now I'm not going to sleep good tonight.
His voice is all screwy and high pitched now because he's a robot, and he got
the sound editor couldn't get her voice out of the same thing, so hers is all warbly too.
There's only one track to this whole fucking movie, so when he put the effect on it, it's on everything. So Sarah manages to turn a knob and steam blasts out from a pipe, and it's really effective.
So, like, shotguns don't affect him, but steam and fire extinguishers, like, really fuck him up.
Yeah, she gets a fire extinguisher, and that just turns him into Robo Cannoli.
Yeah, she rolled a 20, so...
Yeah.
It was super effective.
So this is where my personal favorite part of the movie happens, where he flops over a railing and you see that dummy fall, and the dummy hits a beam and the head goes rocketing off the fucking
Yeah, that was amazing.
But then of course it hits the ground and the head's still on it because that wasn't intentional, but hilarious.
And once again, poor move on the director's part. Because when he saw he had that footage, he could have been like, man, that was awesome. Maybe I should shoot like a severed head shot
Oh, now I gotta get a circular saw and cut a hole in a table, and I don't have time for that shit.
I gotta get her home for the dinner anyway.
So, the rescue team makes their way into the facility, but they're all quickly taken out by the creatures. Sarah searches for Samantha, and you're hearing the base's AI counting down to the explosion, just like in Aliens. She uses the tracker to lead her to a room with more cocoon bodies, and she finds Samantha. She cuts her free, but the creatures appear, and so does Bond, though, who shoots the monsters, giving Sarah and Samantha a chance to escape before he gets murdered by a creature, by just kind of getting hugged by it.
Yeah.
I can't believe how long it took Sarah to get that chick out of that cocoon.
Dude. Forever.
You got a pad for time.
She's still opening that cocoon right now.
Yes. It was just like, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. And I want to save you for 5 fucking minutes.
Stupid 25-year-old, 13-year-old girl screaming, "I'm scared, Sarah." Ugh.
That was outrageous.
So, the window to enter the cancellation code to stop the explosion expires, as we see the Colonel's whole team has been wiped out. They wander around for another 3 hours and find some door with a keypad, so they randomly just mush all the buttons until it opens up.
Dude, that was a boiler. And they put a keypad on a boiler. And when they start doing that, I'm like, why are they entering a code into a boiler? What's that going to do? And then they show like a frame from inside the boiler with the door open, and that I was like, hold on. That's not how that piece of equipment works.
Hey, it kind of looks like a future Adora. Why not?
It's funny. Like, I remember reading the trivia that they only built 2 sets for this whole movie. And as soon as this door opened, I was like, "Oh, that's one of them." Because
that one in the command room,
in the command center.
Yeah, everything else is just in a power plant.
They look completely different from anything else, like in the power plant.
So they mush all the buttons. The door opens up. They go inside, and a video comes on. It's the same big, shoulder-padded woman, and it welcomes them to the Tubular Time Pod.
Dude.
That's when I took off my headphones.
Okay. Let's get Terminator stupid here. She says, today we'll be traveling to the past, so take your time pills, lady.
And she specifically says, you have 10 seconds to put on your seatbelt, and they never put on their seatbelt.
Get that time whiplash.
Yeah. If you're in a time machine and they're telling you to put on a seatbelt, you probably need to put that fucker on.
Have you been injured in a time machine related incident? You may be entitled to compensation.
Did your ass land in Mesopotamia?
Did your body turn completely inside out due to time?
Did your boss show you inappropriate pictures of ancient Sumeria?
So the facility starts to explode as the countdown hits 0. They launch the time pod, and they wake up in the streets of Venice as children play happily and everything's fine. And a little boy rolls up with his RC car, and a boot comes down and smashes it. And we pan up to see Fuller there somehow. And he explains.
He explains how, bro.
Yeah, that's right. There were 2 time pods at the plant. Oh, of course. How could I forget about the Olive Garden buy one time pod, get a second of equal or lesser value free promotion? Fuck you.
I was also upset at the this is where they started ripping off Terminator, obviously.
Oh,
so, was him stomping on the RC car supposed to be like the Terminator stomping on the skull at the beginning?
Yeah. Significantly less badass.
I didn't think about that.
So, Sarah grabs a broken bottle and slashes Fuller's face with it, and his face just kind of flops off.
Yeah.
Revealing more robot stuff.
Well, they got to reveal his eye because that's what Terminator does.
Yeah, and I mean, they couldn't even make it a cool robot skull. It's just a circuit board.
No, it's more capacitors.
More gobbledygook. So they run from him. He follows them. This movie will never end. He corners them in an alley, and Sarah pulls out the universal remote to the time pod or something, and she mashes some buttons and throws it at him, and he catches it, and the whole movie wigs out and has a conniption, and which I guess is this time distortion that the shoulder pad lady warned about, and he didn't take his time pills.
I guess
he can't digest the time pills.
I give up.
Also, it was at this point that I realized that her name was Sarah. And it finally clicked in my head, like Sarah Connor.
Mm-hmm. That was the long play of this movie.
Yeah, it didn't hit me until right then, and I was like, "Son of a bitch!"
The whole time you're like, shouldn't her name be like Shipley or Dipley or something?
Exactly. Nope. Sarah didn't even try on that one.
Yeah. So he disappears, and Sarah
it's
and
Sarah
Samantha.
without the H, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So he disappears. Sarah and Samantha stroll out, and they look at the city, and Sarah tells Samantha that, well, we've got a lot of work to do before it's too late for everyone. Roll credits. Jesus Christ.
Dude, some wild shit in here.
What work?
Fucking movie, man.
What work are you gonna do?
Tell them. They gotta tell people, I guess.
You're gonna tell everybody that the Tubular Corporation is actually building robots. Like, nobody's gonna believe you, so you might as well enjoy it. Enjoy life. Move away from Venice, because obviously the world's fine not around Venice. It's only Venice is off limits.
No, because remember, they say that when the facility blows up, it's going to spread the spores over the entire planet and kill the whole planet.
Yeah, but they must have went pretty far back in the past for Venice to be fine.
Well, they went to before they started poisoning the water because they wanted to rip off all that sweet, sweet art.
It takes a lot of time. They didn't do that last month.
I'm pretty sure it's only been like, didn't Fuller say it was like just a handful of years?
Okay,
so you got a couple of years. Go do some shit. See the world.
It's gotta be longer than that though, because that one guy had forgotten completely what Venice looked like before the tragedy.
That's right. You got the porn pictures of Venice.
Yeah.
I guess.
Maybe that's why that 13-year-old was 25, because it was like a time distortion type thing. Anyway, I'm done with this.
Oh my god. That's next. Enough unlimited salad and breadsticks.
Yeah, next.
Let's move on to the main course. Bring on that tour of Italy.
Yep.
Well, wait, we gotta do the questions first.
Yeah, you gotta do questions.
Oh well, here we go. Oh. It's gonna be tied 2-2.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. These might be hard. They might be easy. I don't fucking know.
Okay.
Okay, when they're watching the video from Dr. Raphaelson or whatever, which 2 guys are already dead?
Oh, thank you.
Oh, shit. Damn it. I'm already behind.
What animal is on the patch on the back of, what's her name? Cooper? Corker?
Coster?
Coster, on the back of her vest.
She had an animal on the back of her vest.
Damn it! I know what she had on the front of her vest.
With an animal on it.
Shot in the dark there.
She probably had that on back her stupid vest.
What assembly point must the
Yes.
members of the Megaforce proceed to?
Yes.
What were the 2 letters on Malibu's helmet?
Oh. I had the other guy's helmet.
And finally, behind what door is the elevator to the Tubular Corporation?
Pretty sure I got that one.
Okay.
I'm confident on 2 of these. 2 are wild shots in the dark,
I'm
and one
confident I'm confident on 1.
one I'm fairly confident on. So,
Who are already dead?
Mario and Luigi.
Maxwell and Jordan.
Correct, Maxwell and Jordan. What animal was on the back of, what was her name? Coster's vest?
A tiger.
I also guessed the tiger.
Was it bald eagle?
The eagle was my other choice, but
What assembly point must the Megaforce proceed to?
H.
point H.
H is correct. What letters were on Malibu's helmet?
YZ.
AH.
XY.
Ah, damn it.
And behind what door is the elevator to the Tubular Corporation?
13.
Was it A6?
It was A6.
Yes. Son of a bitch.
Oh, that's what I needed. That's what I needed. 4-2 at the halfway point. This is the
Step
part
it
where
up,
Blake
Blake.
gives up.
I'm rooting for you.
You know. As soon as I start losing, that's it. I give up. It's over now.
Oh, jeez.
My note-taking days for the Marinara special month are over.
All right. Main course. Bring it on.
All right. Next up, we're going to be watching 1980's Nightmare City.
Ooh.
It's an hour and a half, directed by Umberto Lenzi. He's I think his most famous film is probably Cannibal Ferox. It's like one of those, real nasty Italian cannibal movies.
Yes.
You know what Umberto is in English?
Humbert.
Humberto. Just thought I'd throw that in there.
Very nice.
Jesus Christ.
Let's see. Starring Hugo Stiglitz and Laura Trotter.
You know what Stiglitz is in English?
What?
You know what Stiglitz is in English?
Humberto.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
4 stars on Amazon. 5.6 on IMDb. It's got a bit of a cult following here. So synopsis: when a radioactive spill causes mass contamination, thousands of infected citizens are transformed into bloodthirsty zombies. But these are not your stumbling gut munchers. This is an all-out attack by fast-moving, flesh-ripping, ass-kicking maniacs that can only be stopped by a bullet to the brain. Get ready for an all-you-can-eat buffet of gunfire, gore, and chaos, where the dead run, not walk.
I hate those kind of zombies.
Was this the first fast zombie movie?
Had to be.
They're, not really zombies. From what I can tell. But, whatever.
They're gonna kick ass. We know that much.
gonna kick your ass.
It was just a movie where it was zombies, like straight up zombies, but instead of eating you, they just beat the shit out of you.
And then just walk away.
Yeah, one of the reviews clarifies. It's a 4-star review, but it says, "Let's be clear, this is not a zombie movie." This guy's a real pedant about this whole thing. He's like, "This is not about zombies. There are no zombies in this movie. This belongs to the radioactive mutant genre."
Oh God, who wrote that? I hate this person. John DeLuca.
I'm not gonna read his name on the show, but
it's one of John's made-up friends.
Let's see what else. Laughably bad zombie film. This one's good. Umberto Lousy.
That's funny.
Got him.
Yeah, got him definitely.
Consistently amusing. Amazing. Why haven't more people seen this film? So it's kind of like all over the place. So I'm pretty interested in it. It seems like it's gonna be. I'm hoping it'll be a fun one. Anyway.
Okay.
Sounds good. This is one of the ones that I had searched earlier when
Yeah.
I was, incubating the idea of an Italian month.
Yeah. Yeah, so this one's on YouTube, but the quality looks good though.
I'm sure.
Ooh.
So yeah, awesome. Nightmare City.
Hopefully he'll be a step up.
I think it probably will. I think it, like I said, there's enough reviews that say that it's actually a fun movie, or it's trash, but it's well made, and I don't know. So we'll see.
Hopefully.
One guy just calls it historically accurate.
Well, there's a feather in its cap.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, Christ. All right. So there it is. What was the name of this shit that we just watched?
Shocking Dark.
Shocking Dark. Of course. How can I forget the name of that? It fits so well to what this movie was.
Do you prefer Terminator 2?
Yeah, I do, actually.
Aliens Judgment Day. So next time we're gonna watch Nightmare City, as with our waiter John brings us our main course of our tour of Italy, and then all that's left is the dessert, those dry ass zeppelis.
I'm gonna try to serve you up a nice cannoli on the dessert.
Okay.
I hope so, because I want that win, baby. I got plans for that win.
Something tells me that cannoli is just gonna be like a pastry wrapped around his dick. Go ahead and take it off the plate.
Don't bite.
Thank you for listening to Garbage Theater. As always, you can find us online at facebook.com/Garbage Theater, on Twitter at Garbage_Theater, and on Instagram at Garbage_Theater. If you'd care to leave us a review on iTunes, we would very much appreciate it. And if you have a movie suggestion or just want to reach out to us, you can contact us at any of our social channels or email us directly at garbagetheaterpodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe for all the latest episodes and happenings. Good night, and see you next time, folks.